Hello, hello. I am so excited for this, and I'm going to give it a moment to get everyone to get a chance to log on and join me live in this group. So if you're watching the replay, you might want to skip over this first few minutes while I wait for people to join, and I will be getting started just shortly. So those of you who have been able to make it live, thank you for coming. This is really such a valuable technique, and I have been excited all day to come and deliver it to you because learning this is really going to transform things for you. So like I said, I'll give it just a moment so that everybody can get on live. Those of us who are able to make it live can get on. And if you are already here, I would love to have a heart or a wave, just so I know that you're there and we can connect. I see a couple of you on here, so awesome. And I don't know about you guys, but it's starting to get hot here. And you don't really think of Washington as being a hot place, but it's supposed to get to 101 on Monday, which is just not okay. Hi, Adrian. Oh, so good to see you, my friend. I'm so glad you're here. So good. All right, so yes, like I said, it's going to be really hot here, and I have the air conditioner on, which is why I'm able to wear this sweater. Otherwise, that would not be happening because it's really hot outside. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. If you aren't familiar with me and who I am, my name is Jennifer Della Quadri. I am a life coach for teen girls and women. Basically, I coach females of all ages, or people who identify as female. I'm the coach for them. And I also created this group, Raising Confident Teen Girls. So if you're looking for a way to improve and strengthen the most important relationships in your life, you are in the right place. So in this workshop, I'm going to be sharing with you the steps to nonviolent communication. And basically knowing this method of communication, it really removes the guesswork and allows you to communicate your needs even in the most challenging and awkward of situations. And you can use this method with your family, your friends, your coworkers, basically anyone you come into contact with, you can use this method with. And you'll be more likely to get what you're after, and also be sensitive to the needs of the other person at the same time. So I first learned about nonviolent communication about 6 years ago when I was in yoga teacher training. And I remember learning at that time and hearing it and thinking, why am I just now learning this? This should be required information for everyone to learn. And I was just shocked at all of the years of formal education that I've had that I never learned this basic and very simple and effective technique. So I learned it, and then I started using it with my daughters, my 2 daughters, and they were younger at the time, obviously. And I was just blown away at how easy and effective it was. So they were still feeling respected and cared for, and I was also feeling heard. And it really strengthened our relationships, even at a young age. And so I started using this technique in other areas of my life, with friends, with coworkers, even with my students in my class. And it really does run the gamut. You can easily use this technique with anyone in your life where you need to communicate something to them. And so I also teach this with my clients that I work with one-on-one. And oftentimes when they have something coming up in their life and they need to have a difficult conversation, I'll teach them how to use this technique so that they can take the pressure off of themselves and really give themselves a chance to feel more productive in what it is that they want to say. So, for example, one of my clients, she was feeling resentful and upset with a relationship that she was having with her dad. Specifically, she was feeling like he was paying more attention to her younger brother. He's going to her younger brother's events, but not going to hers when he used to. And she was just feeling really upset, and she'd been harboring this resentment for a long time, and she was filled with emotion. So I taught her this technique, and she actually used it in written form because she didn't think that she would be able to get to the place where she could communicate all of this information without getting too emotional. And so she wrote it down. And the outcome in her situation was incredibly positive. And she was also shocked at her dad's reaction too, because what was happening was there was just a disconnect. Both weren't communicating. And so the misunderstanding was what was causing her to feel this way. And the dad was also feeling things. So it opened the door for the two of them to really have a conversation and improve their relationship. So there have been so many positive outcomes like this with multiple clients of mine, which is another reason why I wanted to share with you. So what you can expect is, first, I'm just going to share what nonviolent communication is and why it's so effective and impactful. And then I'll walk you through the steps of nonviolent communication and give you an example of how you can use it in your relationships and in your life. So I'll also be answering questions. So if anything comes up along the way where you would like clarification or you even have comments on something, just type it into the chat and I will answer questions at the end. Also know that if you're watching this on the replay, I'm going to be coming back and checking for questions later. So it will be posted in the group. Also, if you want to take notes, feel free to take notes, but know that this recording will be posted in the group so you can access it at any time. And then also make sure, if you've ever considered working with me or you'd like to learn more about that, just stick around because I'm going to share with you exactly what to do to get that started and to learn more about that. So lack of communication or poor communication is really the number one source of conflict in relationships. Being able to communicate clearly and in a good way can really foster and build a stronger and more respectful relationship. And when you have stronger relationships, your quality of life improves significantly. You feel more supported, you feel more connected, and you feel closer to the people that you love most. So think of someone right now in your life who you would like to have better communication with. Whether it be you feel that there's a lack of communication or the communication is strained in some way, think of someone in your life. There's probably someone who comes to mind because if you're here, there's a chance that you have somebody that you came here to learn how to communicate with. And when you speak to this person, are you feeling heard? Are you feeling respected? And is it productive? Or do you feel like the message isn't coming across or that you're getting resistance? So if that resonates with you, if you have someone in your life where you see this happening, just give me a little thumbs up. Like, yep, I'm there, girl. We all have relationships like this in our life. So yeah, give me a little heart or a thumbs up to just share, because we all have those things. And so what is happening? Yeah, good. I see that. Thank you. What is happening is you're seeing it as they're being disrespectful or they don't care about what you're saying, and you're feeling frustrated and you're feeling hurt. And as a result, you either retreat or you lash out and you push until you get what you want, which leads to further frustration and probably conflict. And it's just not a very productive way of handling things. So here's an example. Your daughter leaves dirty dishes on the counter and you ask her, please make sure you put your dishes in the dishwasher. Please make sure you put your dish in the dishwasher. Your dishes are on the counter. Your dirty dishes are on the counter. I keep telling you to put your dishes in the dishwasher. Why don't you listen to me, right? And then eventually she just either shuts you down and she's not even listening anymore, or she fights back. Gosh, why do you have to nag me so much? Quit telling me what to do. I heard you. That is the reaction that you get. And that leads to further frustration on both of your parts. So the problem isn't that she's not listening and that she doesn't care. It's that she isn't responding. She's resisting your approach. She's feeling annoyed. She's feeling frustrated. And so she retreats or she lashes out. And so the solution in the situation is to get your message across in a way that is clear and also compassionate. So while we may not consider the words that we say and communicating as being violent, those words also can cause pain and hurt. And nonviolent communication is a way of clarifying our needs and also sharing what it is we're observing, feeling, and needing in a non-judgmental and compassionate way. It also fosters respect, non-judgment, and empathy. And it's also a really great way of getting what it is that you're after, what it is that you need. So before I get to the steps, before you even think of having this conversation or a conversation that can be difficult, make sure that it's coming from a place of centered calmness. So instead of reacting in the situation when you're feeling frustrated and following these steps, make sure that you're calm and clear first. Whether that means going for a walk, doing a meditation, taking a break, reading a book, doing a breathing technique, whatever it is that works for you. Because if you follow these steps and your energy is not on point and it's not grounded, it's not going to work because the person's going to feel that energy. And really your energy is more important than the words that come out of your mouth. So first, before anything, get yourself grounded and clear, and then you can step into the steps. So here we go. The first step is this takes me back to my teaching days. This is probably backwards for you, but oh well, is to ask the person if they can connect. So that would be like for me, it would be just requesting to have a conversation. And that gives them the opportunity to open the door for this discussion versus you forcing your way in. And for me, it would be like, Eva, do you have a moment to chat about something? Or do you have a moment to connect? So it just kind of opens the door for it. The next thing you're going to share what it is you're observing. Something that you're experiencing and that you're seeing that is either enriching or not enriching your life. And also delivering it from a very factual, non-judgmental place with positive or constructive energy, not blaming. So sharing what you observe, what you're seeing. And then you're going to explain how you feel when you observe this. Maybe you feel hurt or irritated or frustrated. You're going to share the feeling that comes up for you when you make this observation. The next one is to share what you need. What need of yours is either being met or not being met when you feel this way? Okay, so for example, using the same scenario with my daughter this is how it would go. Once I'm centered and calm and I've asked for permission to have this conversation. When I see the dirty dishes on the counter, I feel irritated because I value order and cleanliness in the kitchen. So I'm connecting one of my values that's not being addressed and how it makes me feel. And the dishes are a fact. They're sitting on the counter. I'm not just making it up. It's there. So when I see this, I feel this way, and this is the need that's not being met of mine. You follow immediately with a very clear and straightforward request. what it is that you would like them to do so that your needs will be met. So, for example, it would be, would you be willing to put your dishes in the dishwasher from now on? That's the request. Simple, straightforward. And this fourth component or fifth component, this request, it really helps you clarify what it is you're wanting from the person versus just sharing your observation and how you're feeling. It makes it more productive and constructive versus pointing blame at you, you're doing it wrong. So just to clarify, first, center yourself, get grounded and calm. Ask to connect. Share an observation that you're making, how it makes you feel, what need of yours is not being addressed and makes you feel that way, and then a very simple and straightforward request. So those are the steps. When you use this technique, both parties feel heard and they feel understood. And it's just a more productive way of expressing your needs to someone in a more constructive and productive way. So those are the steps, very simple, straightforward. And what I'll be doing right now is giving you a moment to ask questions if you have any, or even comments that you may have, what you found to be helpful. I also have a couple of questions that were submitted to me before, somebody who I've talked with about this, and I can share with you some of the questions that I've already gotten, and they may be helpful for you. So let me just scroll through. Hey, Amy, so good. All right, so while I'm waiting, if you have a question, go ahead and type it in. But while I'm waiting, I'll share with you one of the questions that someone has asked me already. What should I do if the other person is angry or resistant? And so that's something that could certainly happen. And really that comes down to the communication that's more conscious communication. Listening and validating basically what it is that they're saying and giving them a moment to calm themselves down. So I did a workshop on this, how to talk to your daughter. It's on my YouTube channel. It's also posted here in the group. That would be a really great way for you to learn how to handle that situation. This is more of a method for when both parties are really from a place where they're feeling calm and open to the conversation. And another question is, will this work if the other person isn't familiar with nonviolent communication? So yes, absolutely. It doesn't really matter if the other person isn't familiar. If both people are familiar, then it can be helpful, but it doesn't really matter. It's equally effective both ways. And another question is, what should I do if I don't really know what need of mine isn't being met? And that's a good question, because a lot of the time we feel something, but we don't know what it is that we're not getting. We don't know what need it is. And I actually have a list of like basic human needs that I can take a picture of, and I'll post it in the group so that you can look at it and actually refer to it. So when you're feeling something, be like, well, what is it here that I'm not getting? So I'll put that in there for you guys to check in with. So, all right, I'm just scrolling through to see if there are any questions. I don't see any. Hopefully I'm not missing any, but feel free if anything comes up to type it in later. Really, this is just part of the work I do with my clients. This and goal setting, we also use techniques like meditation, visualizing, and shadow work, basically shifting out of destructive, heavy energy and more into productive, constructive, healing energy. And this is really the foundation for building a happier and a healthier life. Because once you learn how to do this, every area of your life will be impacted. Not just you, but your relationships, your career, your health, everything that you come into contact with, it will shift. And now really is the best time to do this, because things are shifting, a lot's changing, and you're in this group for a reason. You're drawn to this idea for a reason, because you know there's more out there for you, or you know there's more out there for your daughter. You know that there's something better. You just can't really maybe see it now. And that's where I come in. So what I'll be doing is I'll be typing in the chat a link to a form you can fill out for a free consultation. You just fill out, answer a couple of questions, and I will get in touch with you and set up a time for the two of us to connect and talk about where you are, what you're struggling with, what it is that you're looking to achieve, and then I'll share with you exactly what I see happening, what's standing in the way, and what it looks like to work together. And I know sometimes some people may be thinking that this isn't really the right time, I'm too busy, it's summer, things will work themselves out, but every day it would be a missed opportunity to improve the quality of your life or for your daughter's life to improve as well. So I just encourage you to, if you're inclined, fill out the form. I'm going to type it in here before I even log off. Click on, and for those of you who have already filled out the form, know that I've received it and I'm going to be reaching out to you in less than 24 hours. I'll reach out to you, set up a time. So fill out the form and I'll get in touch with you. I'm bringing it up on my computer. So before I go, let me just see who's here. Hi, Adrian. Okay, I see Adrian. I see Stacy. Oh, so good. Amy. Love seeing you here, Amy. By the way, oh, here's a question. Amy says, what if my daughter isn't ready to talk to me? Is it okay to wait and ask again? Yes, absolutely. And she's like, Mom, I'm busy. Be like, okay, well, when would be a good time for you? Would you be free this afternoon? Or can we talk in about 30 minutes? So, good question. By the way, Amy has a mother-daughter art project monthly subscription that is so phenomenal. She is an art teacher, and what she does is she creates these curated boxes with step-by-step art projects that each month has a theme, and these questions that moms and daughters can ask each other while they're doing the project. I'll make sure I post more about this, but she and I are going to do something, I believe it's next week, like a group for moms. I'll make sure I let you know about it, but Amy is amazing. I'll give you more information about her. Let me see if I can get this on here. So I'm looking on my computer to find my live and oh, I don't see it. I might be able to just type it into the comments after I leave, but yeah, let me see if I can get it. I can't comment, I don't think. Let me see if it'll work. Anyway, I'll put it in there in like 1 second. So thank you so much for coming, you guys. I am so, oh, I know why it's not posting. It's because I haven't saved it to the group. So I'll post the link the moment I get off. Thank you so much for coming, you guys. And I'm so glad you're in this group and I hope you found it to be helpful. Make sure you add anyone to this group that you think this type of content or this type of information would be helpful for so that they can learn and you can tag them in this video. And thanks for coming. It's good to see you all virtually and I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Have a good night.